Hi everyone, happy Monday, and I hope you're ready for math. Make sure you have your math notebook and your colored pens, that we will be ready to go. So today we're going to be looking at patterns with exponents and powers of 10. So have your math notebook ready as we take a look at our video for today.
How can you explain patterns in the number of zeros in a product? Tamara's new horse weighs about 1,000 pounds. How can you show 1,000 as a power of 10 using an exponent?
Well, we have practiced this before. We've used our powers of 10 way at the beginning of the school year. So we're just going to do a little refresher now. So with our powers of 10, that means we're multiplying by tens. So if I look at this, I need to make 10 to the power of something equal to my how many times I'm multiplying by 10. So if I look, I need to see how many times I can multiply 10 by to get 1,000. So I know 10 times 10 equals 100. So 10 times 10 gives me 100. But that's not big enough. So I think I need to multiply by another 10. So if I have 10 times 10 times 10, I know this is 100, so 100 times 1, do the 100, and then I annex my extra 0. And that gives me 1,000. But this is one way of showing it, and this is another way. We are going to look at exponential form today. So to write 1,000 with exponential form, we need to see how many tens we're multiplying. So I see I have 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens. So 10 times 10 times 10 equals 1,000, and that also equals 10 to the third power. So our base is our 10. That's how many tens. And 3 is our exponent. We are doing 3 tens multiplied by each other. So let's see what Tamara figures out.
The weight of the horse is 1,000 pounds. 1,000 is a power of 10 because it can be formed by multiplying 10 by itself 3 times. The exponent is the number that tells how many times a base number is used as a factor. Why would you use exponents to write the product when multiplying by a power of 10?
Select your answer.
I know that I like to use exponents because I would rather write 10 to the third than writing 10 times 10 times 10. As mathematicians, we have to show our answer in multiple ways to show that we know multiple ways of solving a problem. But we like to use exponential form because it is simpler and shorter.
Using exponents is a simpler and shorter way to show multiplication by powers of 10. Write 1,000 as a product using 10 as a factor. The exponent, 3, shows that the base number, 10, is multiplied 3 times. So, 1,000 is written as 10 to the third power using exponents. Tamara estimates that her horse will eat about 5,000 pounds of hay each year. How can you write 5,000 using exponents?
Well, we know how to write 1,000 with exponents. We know that when we write 1,000, 1,000 equals 10 to the third. And we know that for our 1,000, it has the same place, the highest place value is in the thousands place, just like our 5,000. So when we do this, we are going to be multiplying our base 10 with our exponent by 5. And let's see what Tamara does so she can show us how we solve this problem.
5 times 10 to the first power equals 5 times 10 equals 50.
So just like we did before with our powers of 10, our exponent tells us how many factors of 10 we have. In here, we have one factor of 10. So we did 5 times 1 equals 5, and annex our 0.
5 times 10 to the second power equals 5 times 10 times 10 equals 500.
So same thing here. Our exponent tells us that we have two factors of 10. So 5 times 10 times 10 gives us 500.
5 times 10 to the third power equals 5 times 10 times 10 times 10 equals 5,000.
What pattern do you notice?
The number of zeros in the product is the same as the exponent. So 5,000 is written as 5 times 10 to the third power using exponents.
So now that we have some practice with our visual learning, we're going to open up our math notebooks and do some practice problems together. So we're going to take a look at some examples in our book. So I'm on page 7 in our whale book. This is number 3. We are going to practice writing our words or our numbers in 4 different ways. So here's one form. This is exponential form. So let's see what we can do. We are going to see what 10 to the first equals. So 10 to the first, when I look at this, I know 10 to the first means that I am multiplying by 10 one time. That is told to me by my exponent. So I know 10 to the first equals 10 because it's 10 one time. But I need to write this another way. I need to write it this way with my 10 times 1 as well because we have 110. And then I need to write it in word form. So that equals 10. So let's take a look at our 10 squared. So I'm going to switch back to my color. If I look at this 10 squared, I can look at this as it's a factor, factoring 10 twice. So I look at this as 10 times 10, which I know 10 times 10, 1 times 1 is 1, and annex the 2 zeros. That brings me to 100. So then I need to write it in word form, which you should be writing too. You're doing all of this in your notebook. So I write 100. And hopefully your handwriting is better than mine writing on my computer. All right, now we're going to look at 10 to the third. So I know, based on my exponent, that I am multiplying my factor of 10 3 times. So 10 times 10 times 10, which equals 1,000. I know, it equals 1,000, which we're going to write out in purple, 1,000. 1,000. All right, now I look at my 10 to the fourth. It means I am multiplying my factor of 10 4 times. So I have 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. And I talk a lot faster than I write. And then I'm going to switch my color to show that that is 10,000. And you're going to write it next to it. So for each of these, we showed our number in 4 different ways. We showed it in standard form, which is our number. We showed it in exponential form. We showed it in expanded form, and we showed it in words. So now we're going to do the same with another problem. So now we have a 7 thrown in the mix. This means that we are multiplying our base and our exponent, our base 10s, by the 7. So I'm going to come in and rewrite this problem. So I'll have my green. So I'm looking at this, and I know that I'm doing 7 times 110 because my exponent is 1. I look at this, I know that 7 times 1 equals 7, and then I annex the 0. So I know that 7 times 10, or 7 times 10 to the first, equals 70. And I'm going to pull out my purple to write it in word form. 70. Now I'm going to do that for 7 times 10 to the second. So I'm going to pull out my green. So I know I have 7, and then my exponent's 2. So I'm multiplying 2 factors of 10. I look at this. I know 10 times 10 equals 100. So I'm doing 7 times 100. So 7 times 1 equals 7, and then 100 has 2 zeros. So I need to annex those 2 zeros. And then I come in and I write 700. And remember, you are doing this in your notebook too. Make sure that you are switching colors just like I am. So now we're going to come through for 7 times 10 to the third. So still multiplying by my 7, and I am multiplying by 10 3 times because my exponent is 3. 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000, so I'm doing 7 times 1,000. 7 times 1 is 7. 1,000 has 3 zeros, so I am annexing 3 zeros. So my number is 7,000. 7,000. And our last one, 7 times 10 to the fourth. So I know 7 times 4 tens because of our exponent. And then 7 times 10 to the fourth, 4 tens gives me 10,000. So 7 times 10,000 gives me 70,000. So here we are showing it again in 4 more ways. Now, what I need you to do after you are done writing this is you are going to turn to a new page, and we are going to have a race sort. So have your page ready, have your different colored pens ready, and we'll be ready. All right, I have a challenge for you. We are going to be doing a number sort. I need your game faces ready. We have a minute and a half to sort all of these. You are writing this in your notebook as I'm going, and your goal is to beat me, which none of you can seem to do in the chat. I'm always the fastest. And in Kahoots too. So let's see if you can actually beat me and be the fastest. All right, so I'm gonna think through this. As the music's playing, we have a countdown. We need to get it done. But I think I can beat the countdown and definitely beat you. So see if you're up to the challenge. Okay, so 5,000. Right. 50,000, 50,000. Oh. 50. Oh, that's easy. Oh, 500. I know that. 5 times 10, 5 times 10. 5 times 1 is 5. Annex to 0. 50. 5 times 10 times 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 5 times 100 is 500. Oh, shoot. 5 times 1, 5. Annex 4 more zeros. 3 zeros. 4. 50,000. 5 times 1, 5. 2 more zeros. 5. 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000 times 5. Oh, that's the same. 10 times 3. 3 factors of 10. And this. Got it done. 24 seconds to spare, which means I took a minute and 6 seconds. How fast did you take? Type it in the chat, and I bet I beat you, but it's okay. So make sure you keep practicing. We're going to play this game more and more, so be on your A game. Sign out this video and go right into our video check.